Is there someone or something that has been hugely influential to you in your crypto journey? It doesn't have to be on crypto Twitter, but it could be a book. What or who has been most influential to you in your crypto journey? What or who has been the most influential to you in your crypto journey? And positioning you and the work that you do in this space the way that it does.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Tough question.
That's a really interesting question.
Great question. I think of my crypto journey.
Do people try to cheat the question and answer with multiple answers? Because that's what I'm that's what I'm feeling very much compelled to do here.
I think the initial inspiration for me working in tech is I kind of fell in love with blogs on the internet, and I just thought it was so cool that for not a lot of money and not a lot of effort, you could be online and start publishing, and if people found your stuff interesting, you could grow an audience, right? There's no gatekeeper effectively. Mm-hmm. And so I've always kind of been really into that.
It's a bit cliche, but I would really say crypto Twitter, because it is really where the community is meeting and where I'm at least sourcing all or most of the updates on a daily basis myself. And it's obviously challenging that you don't fall into some filter bubble, and you need to make sure that you're also following people you might not always agreeing with. But for me, it's a super useful tool to just keep updated, to learn more, to get also the culture of Web3.
A lot of Balaji's ideas I found really interesting, particularly his ideas around social. Like, I don't have that many original ideas. I like steal a lot from really smart people like Balaji. So I would probably say, like, read Balaji's book, The Network State. He's like talking about really, really interesting ideas. So and he kind of imagines, like, his imagination is just kind of wild in terms of like what he's thinking about. So I'd probably say Balaji's probably impacted my views on crypto the most.
And just as Balaji, I think his work on the network state is really at the forefront. I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, but I think that his like ability to work in public and ideate on the future of society, government, state, like, and what this and how crypto transforms that is like pretty amazing. So listen to any 8-hour interview with him. There's an 8-hour interview that I listened to on the Lexman podcast. That would be like, we could do a shorter one too, but I'm just saying there's no shortage of information out there with Balaji.
Yeah, I think it would mostly date back to this idea of like not living with regrets. And I think that in itself has dictated pretty much everything that I have done. So I think the quote comes from Jeff Bezos. He goes and says that, hey, in 10 years, if you're going to regret it, do it. You may be overthinking about it right now, right? Like, he puts it out brilliantly. You should probably check it out. And I saw that way before. I think it was mentioned in one of the books and his interviews from long time, from 1995. And I was like a tech geek in my college days. But that core thesis stuck with me. So I remember putting the first 5 months of my salary straightforward into crypto.
I think on one level, I could point to folks like, Janine Benyus from biomimicry, or, Buckminster Fuller, like these kind of thinkers that really work to open up, like, different paradigms and ways of thinking about things. Biomimicry has been really, really influential in me and just how we think about systems and how they work, and recognizing that, nature has 4 billion years of R&D to learn from.
Bitcoin white paper and Ethereum white paper. And this might sound as a simple answer, but at some point I was curious to learn more. I went to different people and I was asking, what should I read? What can help me to advance? I didn't understand how smart contracts work and what are the limitations and what are the possibilities of the system. And I failed to get enough of the answer, so I thought, okay, I'll just read default one. I'll read the Ethereum white paper. And thanks to Vitalik and his team and the Gavin Wood and other people, it is so well written. It explains all the philosophy and the concept in a powerful way that it was great to read.
I guess my Anon, not Anon to me, but one of my very good friends growing up was the person who very first introduced me to Bitcoin several years ago. So as far as influential goes, that by definition has to be way up there.
I think the person I probably owe most is Annika Lewis. And Annika and I met through the Generalist Mario's community, and we were doing deep dives into economics and economic theory, and we were reading Ray Dalio and macroeconomics, and we realized all signs point towards decline of U.S. power and decline of U.S. dollar long term. What is the next global order that's going to take its place? And we started having this debate, it looks like China. Like China just seems like it's cleaning up and, winning deals and is on the ascent and, shows all the signs of like an early incumbent. But then we thought, what if the next, global empire isn't a physical nation state? What if it's the internet? Like, what if the internet is the next global? And that thought that we had, that we started writing about together, sent us just both deep down the crypto rabbit hole. And it was really, Annika and I went on this kind of journey together in the beginning of 2021. And I owe her so much for that, and still one of my best friends, one of the best people I've ever met. And she has a great dog too, which is very important.
I would say overall, my experience coming through the Alliance Accelerator, which it is actually multiple people, from Chow to Will Robinson to Imrad to and a few others. But I think they would have been just extremely generous in helping a Web2 founders understand some of the nuance of Web3 and kind of bring some of this knowledge and open up their network to us starting Chambers. And I think that was certainly a level jump in our journey, being part of the Alliance Accelerator.
A couple years ago now, I guess at this point, I had the good fortune to meet some amazing women, Dina Burke and Natasha Hoskins, who were thinking about how we could make the Web3 welcome mat bigger and more welcoming to everybody. How might we reflect the fact that blockchains are feminist protocols and create a welcoming space for people who identify as female and non-binary? And so I, worked sort of in the shadows to support them as they got Boys Club up and running. And now Boys Club is a global community of women and non-binary people in Web3 that, is a vibrant ecosystem around the world of folks from, girls who are in school to, women who are successful founders and everybody in between. And so it's been especially rewarding for me to be able to contribute to this community and to be part of it, realizing that, they're exemplars of what I just described, of creating a space that is going to be welcoming for all levels of technical familiarity and help inspire confidence in users of all experiences and all walks of life.
I'll throw a few people. One is the founder of Breadity, Adam Stollard. It is such a deep systems thinker about all of this, and so appreciative of all that he has brought. Kevin Iwaki, founder of Gitcoin, now disassociated. Oren McMillan, who created ClearFund, has helped me understand a lot. You, Humpty, have been wonderful. Santi Siri, who created Proof of Humanity. Paula Berman, who helped on Proof of Humanity. Among many others working on this space. This is not something that any of us do individually.
But I think one really exciting aspect of, bringing identity and culture to Web3 is that we can make those spaces explicitly welcoming to everyone.
It's a big, hairy problem, and it's going to take a big collective group effort to solve it. And from the beginning, the Bright ID team has always tried to be collaborative with all the other projects trying to work in this space, because no one knows how to do this yet. But collectively, humanity needs to figure it out.